I think this property is virgin ground. I honestly believe, or I'm starting to believe, that this area has not been metal detected. This is clear-cut forest. There's fields also on this property, which I'm not finding a lot of relics, but in this section here where the woods have been cut down, I know for a fact that both Confederate and Union troops were in this exact spot during very heated battle. I'm finding so much stuff in this area that I'm telling you, even the old metal detectors way back in the day would have easily found this stuff. So the fact that I'm finding relics every couple feet tells me that this has not been detected before, and that's a really cool thought for me, because just imagine what could be out there. My bucket list, I've mentioned in my videos before, would be a Civil War belt plate. I hope to God that I dig one day, but when I think about a permission like this that has not been metal detected, to me, my chances are up there that anything one of these soldiers dropped is just waiting for me to put my coil over it and dig it. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, so I don't know. This one is between a 34 and a 40, which is low. That's not bullet range. And it's right at the base of this really big trunk. So I'm curious if it could be, I mean, that really could be any number of things. Buttons and, yeah, saying 34, 40, and it's deep. All right, now I'm going to be a little bit more gentle with this. Okay. All right, I feel it underneath here. All right, right down in here. Good Lord. Let me grab my pruning scissors here to cut some of that out. Did I get it? I did. And that's a bullet. I was definitely not expecting a bullet. Not at those numbers. Let's see. Oop. Shoot. There it is. Yeah, it's a 3-ring mini ball that's just flattened out. It hit its target dead on. See that? That's the front of it. Looks like it hit a tree. And then there's the base of it. You can see the rings right there. So, yep. 3-ringer that just hit dead on. So, and that was deep. All right, we'll keep going.
So this permission, as I've mentioned before, the day that I got it, it's quite a drive. So unfortunately, I'm not able to spend as much time as I'd like. As far as once I get there, I don't have a full day to metal detect, which is what I like to do. I like to get there early and stay until the sun goes down. But unfortunately with this, unless I do an overnight trip, it kind of limits me to how much time I can spend on the property before I have to head home, which kind of stinks, but you know what? I have got no complaints. It is what it is. And let's get back to digging.
Okay, 47, 45. And it's deep, so it's at the base of these 2 tree trunks right here. Man, and those are those are solid roots. So let's get down in between these roots. Once I can feel it with my pinpointer, at least it gives me a direction to dig. Because you got to work for every inch going through these roots. So nothing yet. All right, let's see here. I think I got it in my hand. There it is. That's another bullet. Let's see what this is. Huh. Son of a gun. You know what this is? That's a Williams cleaner. I have not found a Williams cleaner like this. The little stud is stuck in the bottom of it. Yes, it is. So, I want it, like I'm almost certain that's a Williams cleaner. The little plunger is stuck in the bottom. But I remember that there are some types of bullets whose base has a little stud that protrudes out the bottom. But I don't have a clear picture in my head of what that looks like from the book. So I'm going to say it's a Williams cleaner, but yeah, I see the two lines right there. I'm going to know right when I get home. I'll look up that book and just refresh my memory of the base of the other bullet I'm thinking of. It's got the stud on the bottom, but almost certain. And that's awesome. I have never found a Williams cleaner with that thing stuck in. Very cool. Very cool. It's like a 55-ish. Perfect signal. It's deep. And again, it's right at the base of this old tree. My money is on a bullet, but it could be a lot of other things. Like a belt plate is stamped brass, but the back is filled in with lead. So, haven't found one before, but I would imagine it would kind of ring out the same as yeah, it's under here. I'd imagine it'd kind of ring out the same as a bullet just because of all that lead, but then you've got the brass, and that would give you a high tone, so I don't know. I'd love to find out, but I don't know. Should I just get it out of the hole? I can see it right there. Yep. That's a bullet. Let's see what kind. Oops. So here's the base. Right here. Again, this one hit. It's just flat. Flat and mushroomed out, so good chance this smacked into a tree and did this. I'm actually not, I don't think this isn't a 3-ringer. Have to check it out at home. Actually, this might actually be a Williams cleaner. Yep, this might be a Williams cleaner that smacked into a tree. Let's just assume it hit a tree. But there you go. So this section, there's relics all over the place. I'm not trying to stay in one section. So if I'm finding a bunch of things, I could just spiral out and stay right there. But I'm trying to move. It being a new permission, I kind of want to get a snapshot of what this whole area looks like. I've got this, I don't even know how many acres, but this huge strip that's just been clear cut of woods, and from one end to the next, I'm trying to get a picture. So I want to know, are the artifacts and bullets and everything just on one side, and then as you go deeper one way or deeper the other, do they kind of fade off? So far they haven't. So far they've been pretty solid, going all the way the length of this field. So that's interesting. So I'm gonna keep going. All right, let's just it's just an indication of what this terrain is like that I'm detecting in. If you can see, it's just gigantic. But just walking over all the limbs, and actually, here's something right here. It's deep. It's in the 40s. '46. I'm looking around because everything I'm finding is kind of at the base of a old stump, and this is not. Yeah, it's still kind of a weird signal. I mean, it's there, it's a good signal, but the way it's shown on the 2D screen is just kind of weird. It's not like really solid. Alright, I got it down here in the hole. So, hey, I'm going to throw this out there. If any of you guys watching this, if you've dug a belt plate, or just, I don't know, if you just did an air test on a belt plate, what does it ring up as? I have a Manticore which goes 1 to 99, but just put in the comments, I'm kind of curious are they primarily ringing up the high tone of a brass or the lead? Here, it looks like I got it out. I'm curious. Got a bullet. Got a bullet. What is this? I think this might be a Williams cleaner. Yes, it is. That's dropped too. Still has the plunger stuck in the bottom of it. Alright, let's get into some sun here. Alright, Williams cleaner. Very cool. It's dropped. So that would explain what I said right when I started digging this, is that everything I'm finding is up against the trunk of an old tree, and this is kind of out in the open. That obviously is why, because it was dropped. So pretty cool. I'll take it. All right. It's a 45, 47, and it's deep. Here we go. I can feel it with the pinpointer. one thing I'm trying to do when I'm detecting, it's normal talking, but that's what I've done in the past, and I'm trying to remember not to, is when I'm detecting and I'm recording it, I'm trying not to say, oh my gosh, I'm like right, 6 feet away from that such and such I just dug. Because that means when I'm editing the video, I have to put one video after, the thing that I just referenced. I also don't want to reference any kind of a time frame, because a lot of stuff's not in order. I don't know when the video will actually come out. So, not a big deal. But yeah, I was finishing up a video the other day, and I was like right at the tail end, and I needed this particular dig or scene to be right in a certain spot, and then I went to plug it in there, and I'm like, man, I made a reference to having just dug something that I, according to the video, had dug like 20 minutes before. But anyhow, here we go. We got another bullet. And what are you? Ah, shoot. I'd really like to dig at Gardner. It's a Confederate bullet. It's a 2-ringer. So both Confederates and Union were right here. Obviously fighting each other, but each one occupied this space for a period in time. So, alright, what do we got here? Let's get some sunlight on this. Alright, so I think it's I see 3 rings. But it's just not as big as a... What the heck am I seeing on this? The shape is just odd. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm not going to know if I get home and really clean it up, but it's almost looking like this is a carved bullet. Like a soldier actually whittled on it or something, but I could be totally wrong. I just don't know. That's kind of weird. Could just be that the thing is eaten away so much. I don't normally find bullets disintegrating like that. But we'll see. We'll add it to the finds box and we'll keep going.
Again, the soil conditions here, even the drop bullets, the fired bullets, all of them, the soil is really taking its toll on these bullets. They've got the white oxidation on them, but they don't have the brown crust that I normally find on these Civil War bullets, where I could scrub at home and I can't hardly get that brown crust off of it just to reveal the white oxidation. These I have to be careful with. They are really eaten away by this acidic soil that they've been sitting in for 160 years.
All right. Deep target right there. And then deep target right here, 6 feet apart. Let me see. So I got one there. I'm kind of in between a couple trunks of trees, so just trying to see if there's anything else right around here. So there probably is. There's just stuff everywhere right here. But let's focus on these two. So, trying to visualize this, you could tell was a monster tree. This and then this. Bullet here, bullet there. Are they dropped? Is this from a soldier who is behind these trees? Hiding behind the trees? And dropped it. I feel it down there. And dropped it in the panic as he was trying to reload. Or were these fired bullets? Was someone firing on this soldier? Or more than one soldier behind these two big old trees? Come on. I also cannot believe how quick these days go. Here we go. It's a bullet. What is it? Alright. It's not a dropped bullet. This one was fired. And I think this is... I think it's a 3-ring mini ball. Yeah, it's mushroomed out. So it, again, this looks like it just smacked into a tree. The way it's just rounded like that. Alright. Now let's move over to the one 6 feet away. Okay, I got it out. There we go. Okay, it's a bullet. The one we just dug 6 feet away was a 3-ring mini ball that was flattened out that looks like it hit a tree. And I think that's exactly what this one's going to be. Try to, ouch, put it into some sunlight for you. Yep. Yep. So there's the top of it. There's the bottom. It's all flattened out. And it smacked and impacted just like this, almost sideways, just like that. So again, I think that hit a tree. And it's right next to another one that just hit a tree. So good chance someone was hiding behind these two big old trees right here. At least one person. And they had incoming fire. And given where I'm at and knowing the direction of the movement right here, that totally makes sense. So, all right, I'm gonna keep moving and see what else we can find. All right, 5152, perfect signal. It's not as deep as they usually are. But let's see. And it's also not, well, there's a tree trunk there. It's like a really strong signal. Let's see if I can do this before my GoPro battery dies. Geez, I already got it out. Huh, look at that. It's a bullet. What do we got? What are you? It's not dropped. Okay. All right. This is going to be one of those 54 caliber rifle rounds. I still want to learn more about them. I'm going to, because I've found quite a bit of them. But that's what this is. I do not think that this area has been metal detected. I honestly don't, which is just very cool for me, obviously. But there's just so much. And you would think, even years ago, the technology, it's changed a lot with metal detectors. But even in the 70s, 80s, 90s technology, if this had actually been detected, those machines would have found this stuff. So yeah, if this has not been detected, this is just super cool for me, because it's going to give me an awesome place to detect in the summer, when a lot of the fields that I detect in are full of crops. So I think about that during the fall and winter months, when everything is open, to get in, not disturbing crops. I start to go back to thinking, okay, when am I going to dig next summer? I always have stuff to dig, but something like this, where it's clear-cut woods, they're not planting crops. This is an old forest. They just sold the lumber. So I'll be able to detect this all summer long. But yeah, I just don't think it's been detected. There's just too much around here. But if that's the case, I mean, I can't even imagine the relics that are in this area just waiting for me to go find them. That's cool. Okay, I think I got it. Right there. Right there. Bullet. So let's see. You got any rings on you? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I don't know what that is. I'm going to weigh it when I get home. I'll compare it to some of these others. In the book, it's going to tell me how much a thing should weigh. But awesome. Man, we had to work for that one. Okay, can't get any more solid than that. And I'm not next to a tree stump. What I'm seeing right here, obviously trees are gone, but if these were woods, what I'm seeing is a depression in the ground here, and over here, and over here. And that's what, they're not trenches, but when you come across in the woods, or you see them, Civil War trenches, if you know what you're looking at, if you've seen them before, you know what you're looking at, and that's kind of the feel. Now there's trenches, there's a trench line, but then there's also foxholes. So I've been in areas where you're going through the woods, and then the scenery just kind of changes, and it just looks like these just little areas about the size for one person, and they dig down, and they're not deep. It's cover for the soldier if they're kind of laying down, but they're not super deep. And that's what I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing the dimple look. And over 160 years, the amount of soil debris, pine needles, leaves, things like that that kind of build up the layer of ground over the years. They could have filled in a little bit, but not much. You know, I think it goes to the depth of where most of these bullets are found, like 6 to 8 inches. Why am I not hitting this thing? There it is. But yeah, knowing the area that I'm in and the direction of this long ago forest, and now I'm starting to see the topography change a little bit. I think I'm getting close to, well, I know I am. I know where I'm at. This is kind of the front lines for, at one point. Let's just say that, without giving away my location. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. There we go. It's a bullet. That's a Williams cleaner. I think that's a fired Williams cleaner. That's what that is. Nothing left. You know, that plunger's gone, which they usually are. But that's what it is. Fired Williams cleaner. In the middle of what could possibly have been a foxhole. This one looks like it was big enough for like 2 to 3 people. But I'm going to explore, kind of move out from here, because I'm seeing these little divots in the ground. So, like I said, I'm getting to where the front lines would have been at a certain point. All right, this one is a big old trunk, but this signal looks to be coming into the side here. I just want to get it on my pinpointer because the numbers seem kind of weird. It's like it was a Civil War bullet, but then I started to clean some, move a little dirt off of it, and then it rang up like a 98. Which, you know, it's like silver coin range. I'm trying to break through a big, do I have it? A big clump at a time so I don't damage it. Okay, I think I got it in my hand. There you go. And it is a bullet. Okay, so a couple things going on here. So for one, you can see that mark on the tip of the bullet where that soldier just forcing it down the barrel with his ramrod. It just made a huge indentation on the top of that lead bullet. Yeah, this was not an easy bullet for him to jam down into that barrel. But then if you look at the bottom, is that a Williams cleaner? I think it is. But check that out. See what's left of it? Like that little plunger still in there, and then the back portion, there's like a remnant of it still stuck in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to look more into this, clean them up. Sun's starting to go down. I gotta head back to the truck. Now, the decision, do I just turn my machine off and walk back to the truck? I don't want to, because I know there's tons of stuff out here, but I also know if I don't, I'm never gonna get back to my truck. I'll be out here digging in the dark. There's just that many relics out here. Again, I don't believe this area's ever been detected, and there was some serious fighting right here, which is just insanely cool to me. Just to think of what is out here just waiting for me to find it.
I just wanted to throw this out there that for me, spending a whole day digging Civil War bullets, repetitively finding Civil War bullets, I am not bored of that. I know that I am blessed to be able to be doing this, because I know that most people that metal detect will never dig a Civil War bullet. That's just a reality. Even people that live in the South that metal detect will never have the permissions, availability to get onto these properties to dig Civil War relics. It's just a fact. So I'm never going to say, I'm tired of digging these bullets. Let's find something different. Each one is unique. Each one tells a story. And you know what? Another thing is, I've seen kind of comments online. I don't know if it's just blowing smoke, but to say that, well, I dug 100 bullets today or whatever. To me, I remember finding my first Civil War bullet and my hands were shaking. And I hope to always have that feeling, because these are awesome relics that most people will never have the opportunity to dig, and I love it.